So let's be honest, how many corporate videos have you actually enjoyed watching? Most are boring, forgettable, filled with stock footage of handshakes, slow motion teamwork, and dramatic voiceovers saying things like synergy, innovations, cutting edge technology. Let's be real, it means nothing because they're overused. But here's the thing, you still need a corporate video, whether it's for marketing, your investors, internal messaging. You can't really not make one. So the real question is, how do you make a corporate video that actually works? So let's dive in. Why do most corporate videos actually fail? Well, the biggest mistake is usually that they're actually made for the company, not the audience. It's what the company wants to say, not necessarily what the intended audience is interested in hearing. It's natural to want to highlight your company's achievements, but here's the truth. No one cares about your new office or that fancy machine you just installed, or all your benefits that you're trying to make sound really, really good. Your audience cares about one thing. How are you going to help them? A great corporate video isn't just a montage of your company's greatest hits, according to you. No narrative, no emotional connection, no clear takeaway. People will forget it 5 minutes later. The best corporate videos focus on real people, not the company itself. One of my favorite projects we did was for a nonprofit. Instead of talking about their impact, we let the people they helped tell the story. The result was it hit way harder. Another example is a company that was really amazing at what they did, but no one really took them seriously. So instead of a scripted corporate fluff piece, we stripped it down. No voiceover, no fancy graphics, just real footage of their work in action. The result was that stakeholders saw them differently. Morale went up inside the company. People were excited to share the video. Like, hey, this is where I work. People actually paid attention. Sometimes the best way to show who you are is just let people see it and let them draw their own conclusions. And that's not something you're going to get just using some stock footage and not putting some careful thought into really what you're trying to communicate with these visuals. So how to make a corporate video that works? Make it about the audience. Before you start scripting this and planning this out and figuring out everything that you want people to know about your company, before you say, here's what we do, ask, what does our intended audience really need to hear? What do they need to feel about our company? Frame everything in this corporate video around their problems, their pain points, and their needs. Trust me, if they finish watching your corporate video and feel like you spoke to them and that your company is actually completely set up to help them solve their problems, they'll look at you a lot differently. And the corporate video will have done its job. And get out of the office. Nobody cares about your conference room. Nobody wants to see that. Show your work where it actually happens. If you're a construction company, film on site. If you make software, show your software solving an actual problem. And definitely, here's a big one. Ditch the stock footage and the corporate speak. Be real. Let actual customers or employees tell your story instead of using a scripted voiceover. Doesn't mean you don't plan it out and you're very careful with what is being said, but you're arranging it in such a way that it's coming from a more organic place instead of just top down. Of course, this is what management wanted to say about our company. Because if it feels staged, it feels fake. Just like right now, I'm reading off a teleprompter. If I don't do it quite right, it just reads. And obviously you can tell right now I'm off the teleprompter. I'm definitely off the teleprompter. I had a thought. I started to run with it. Guess what? Lost my train of thought. So authenticity, be measured with that, right? And try to keep it short. There are corporate videos I've watched that really earned more than 3 minutes or 4 minutes, but a lot of times that's pushing it. So see if you can make your point in under 3 minutes. You want to leave them wanting more. You want to leave them at the conference table asking questions. You don't necessarily need to be exhaustive with everything. The Beatles wrote hit songs under 3 minutes. Your corporate video can do that too. Music really sets the tone. And for like 20 or 30 bucks, you can go out and get a really high quality track that really gets across the emotion of what you have on screen and what you're trying to communicate. So I really don't recommend just free corporate inspirational stock music that you can get anywhere. Go and find some music that you'll own the rights to that just has an extra level of emotion thought, and it just doesn't sound like everything else you hear on these corporate videos. Pick the right track and let it drive your edits. When we're making corporate videos, we try to experiment with quite a few different musical tracks to see what matches the story we're trying to tell, and then what will help us edit with the right kind of pacing that matches that as well. So definitely take your time with the music. So if that was helpful, what's next? I've got a whole video coming on where I'll roast some of the worst corporate videos I've seen and break down what makes great ones work. Hit subscribe if you don't want to miss it. And let me know in the comments what's the best or worst corporate video you've ever seen. And if you need a corporate video that actually works, let's chat. See you in the next one.